Shalom YouTube, hey guys, it's Fletch. Welcome back to OTH. Today we're going to be talking about SHTF WROL, INSIG, normal society is gone. Whatever normal society is for you today, tomorrow it's gone. Timepieces and some ideas about why that's important and some things that you may want to think about. I'll be the first to tell you there are a lot of really cool watches that are out there right now, but they're all electronic based. These Seiko Sports 5 watches that I have here are what you might call an automatic watch, and you don't have to manually wind the watch. The kinetic energy of you moving the watch keeps your watch wound for you, and so you don't have to worry about that. These particular watches here, this is the SNK 805 and the 803. The green is 805 or SNK 805, and the tan or the beige here is the SNK 803. And then this is a now out of date Seiko kinetic relay, and this is one of my first automatic watches. And I'll let you get a close-up look at this. I've definitely got my money's worth out of this watch. You can see the crystal on there is pretty banged up. At some point I'll probably send it in and have that crystal replaced, but right now it's pretty cost prohibitive because the new crystal has to actually be pressed in there, and the last time I checked it was over $100 to have that done. But basically the same concept as these Seiko 5 sports Seiko 5 watches. And one of the cool things about these Seiko watches is that they have a matching face to the band. So the 805 here is green, forest green face, forest green band. The 803 down there, same thing, matching band and face. And then they also make these in navy blue and black as well. So of course you have a matching, black band, black face, blue band, blue face on the watch. And as you can see, this watch here has a date function on it. Get it to focus here. It has a date function on it, as well as the day of the week, and help you keep track of what's going on in your world. One of the first things that people will say, oh, gosh, Fletch, if that ever happens, time's not going to matter anymore. Well, yes and no. You're still going to need to be able to meet people at certain times, especially if you're going to be doing any type of tactical operations. You're still going to have to be able to meet people at certain times, and especially if it's not at high noon. And speaking of high noon, that is one of the easiest ways that the people in a geographical area can keep time. And as the old saying goes, you used to see it in all the old war movies, synchronize your watches. But in high noon is the way that you do that, and you do that just with a stick in the ground. And when the sun passes over and the sun's directly overhead and it's not casting a shadow one way or the other, then it's high noon. And that's how they used to do it, in the early 1800s or the late 1800s, early 1900s. When people had pocket watches and things like that. Many of those watches weren't much more accurate than the day, and so literally you would want to wait till high noon. And understand, guys, I understand that there were probably some that were very accurate. Yes, I get that, but we're talking about more so the rule here than the exception. And so here again, especially if there's some type of a whether it's natural causes or man-made causes, something that would create an EMP effect, and there's a loss of electricity. And that's what I was kind of alluding to in my introduction as well. These watches are purely mechanical. it stores mechanical energy into a spring that's on the back of there, and just your natural movement of this watch is what gives it its power source, as well as one of these. However, you know, a watch like this is quite a bit more flashy, attract a lot more attention, and if you're, you know, into the gray man movement, big, you know, $500 looking watch probably is not a good thing. One of these watches that looks like a simple field watch might be a better option for you, especially if you are into the whole gray man persona. We'll call it that. Now, I did also want to mention to you that the Seiko 5 has a little bit bigger watch than this. It, you know, what you might call the big brother to this watch, and that is the SNZG, as in Sierra, Nora, Zulu, Golf, SNZG models, and they're about twice as expensive. These two watches here run about $50 to $55 on Amazon, and the next one up from Seiko is SNZG model we were talking about, and those run about $105, $110, and you're getting a little bit better watch. I don't know if it's worth twice the money or not, honestly. This watch has a 21 joule movement. The SNZG has a 23 joule movement. It's waterproof to 100 meters, whereas these are only waterproof to 30 meters, or, you know, basically 99 feet, something like that. And so there are some trade-offs, and I'm sure that there's some other decent watches that are out there. Like I was telling you earlier, you know, this was my first experience in automatic movement watches, was this Seiko Kinetic Relay watch. And so personally, you know, that's just my own personal preference. I like Seiko, and so when I saw, you know, the Seiko field watch design here of this Seiko field watch, it was very appealing to me. And so, as you can see, I've got two of them. They're well worn. I've definitely got my money's worth out of them thus far. A couple things that I will tell you about these watches is that either one of these watches here, they're not perfect timekeepers. About every 30 days you're going to have to do a correction of about a minute or something like that. One of the cool things about this watch, and it is kind of more of a second kind of cool, but if you look at the back of this, it has a glass back, which is pretty cool. And you can see how the kinetic relay weight swings back and forth in there. But there's actually a screw in there. Let's see if I can find it for you. Get this to adjust itself down. Yeah. See, the screw is right there. And you adjust that to make it run a little bit faster or a little bit slower. And that way you can adjust it so that you're not, having to continually adjust the time on the watch more than maybe once a month or something like that. So here again, you know, something to think about if there is, you know, some type of an EMP type event. You know, your electronic based digital watch probably is not going to work. So have some type of a field watch like this that, you know, you don't have to worry about winding, because if you forget to wind it, you're going to lose track of time. As long as you're active and moving, these watches do just fine, and they'll handle, you know, going through the night absolutely fine, no issue there. You might have some more important things on your mind in that kind of scenario than remembering to keep your watch wound. And so I think that these are great options, and you know, they're stylish. They kind of have the second kind of cool appeal to them as well. And you know, depending on your theater of operations, right? You may want to have, you know, the lighter tan color, or you know, if you're like us and we live in a very foliage-rich area, you may wish to have more of the forest green look. And for night operations, say you may want one of the black ones. The hands on there are not reflective, but they do have a glow to them. It's not like they're the little power cells in them or anything like that. that glow like on your night sights on your pistol or anything like that. Just basically, you know, glow in the dark type thing. And for the first couple of hours after it's dark, you can certainly see them. But, you know, right before dawn, I'd say, yeah, probably not so much. But, you know, so understand they do have some limitations. The watches, or the watch bands rather, are pretty sturdy. This one I've had for 2 years, and this one I've had for 1 year, and they're both holding up just fine. One thing that I did find about these, and I'll share with you guys real quick, is you can see here on the watch band, you know, it's and the reason why guys hold their hands up there is because it helps the camera focus. You can see, you know, I definitely had some wear on this watch, but if you look right here on the end, you'll see how the nylon can start to get frayed every once in a while. And what you can do with that is just take a lazy flame off of a lighter and run it over there, and as well as the edges along here, and it will help to take care of the fraying that you get, and you won't have any problems. But yeah, I've had this watch for 2 years, and I wore it every day literally for about a year and a half, something like that. And you can see I've even got some grease and oil stains on there from working on the car. And I shower with my watches. Yeah, I know, I do. And, you know, so these are very good watches, and I'm very impressed with them. And I think they'd serve you proud if you're looking for something to fill a niche like that. So hopefully this helps someone out there, and something to keep in mind if you're looking to invest in timepieces. You know, make sure it's something that's gonna work, you know, regardless of pretty much of what the situation is. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you're having a blessed day. If you like these types of videos, please be sure to subscribe. In the lower right hand corner of the screen, you'll see the little red subscribe button. If you click on that, it'll take you to the subscribe. And if you click on the little bell option there, it will also send you an email every time we post a new video to our channel. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.